Or audio wise. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
You know what? Maybe I should have just stuck with the game screen one. Hi, everybody. I was just chatting when I didn't adjust. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Kaji, thank you for getting first, by the way. Sorry that Mix It Up was
Yep.
not on. We were dealing with all the other jank, guys. Sorry. Oh, and I just realized uh, nobody can see my chat. I'm gonna move this to this side. I'm chaotic. I apologize, chat. Hello, RX. Hello, greetings, salutations. Furthermore, funky monkey, slam donkey. What is that? For those of you who are curious if they read that correctly, your eyes did not deceive you. For those of you who want to know what I mean by funky monkey, slam donkey, I feel it speaks for itself. For everyone else, hi. Hi, RX. How's it going? That's like how he always introduces himself every single time he's in chat. Thanks, RX. Appreciate it. Hi, Captain. How's it going? Yeah, Tall Geese 3. We're gonna build the Tall Geese Master Grade.
Nice.
At least that's what I'm gonna attempt to do. But yeah.
Yep. And then I'm working with something a little smaller on my side here. These are the Gundam Assemble minis here, which the game is formally releasing in November, but some of the card games starter kits had the minis for various things included in them.
Yep.
So
I was
we've got the
very
tall geese and two Leos here.
I was very sad that I couldn't get my hands on any of them. The first wave stuff was so hard to get your hands on. Um,
Yeah, my brother eBayed them, I think.
I bet he paid an exorbitant price for them too. At least I'm
I
guessing.
haven't asked. I just know that he got hold of them somehow.
I'm gonna just assume because last time I checked, they're hard to come. Well, I mean, like I'm assuming when the official board game comes out, it probably won't be nearly as difficult. I'm hoping, but for the card game ones, yes, very hard. Go bombastic or don't bother going. You got to play the game once it comes out. Yeah, it does look like I haven't really fully looked too much into it. I've been too busy with my move, but it does look pretty cool. I like the
Yeah.
miniatures.
Well, and they've got some interesting features in it as well to try and balance it out so that you know, so you don't just simply okay, you know what? I'm throwing Char Gundam down, and that's just going to dominate everything because Char. The more powerful suits, they basically kind of have a clock system here where every action advances the clock a certain amount. And essentially, your more powerful suits, more powerful attacks take longer on the clock. So, if you wanted to throw your ground Leo out there against the Tallgeese, that's fine. It's still going to remain somewhat competitive because this guy's going to act about, a turn and a half for every turn this gets, for example.
Ah.
Um, yeah, and if he does get blown up, then basically the next turn he redeploys somewhere else on the board. So you don't have to worry about tabling somebody and ending the match early, if you will, the way that you might in, say, Warhammer.
Oh. Hmm. I'll have to spend some time and actually look more into it. Unfortunately, don't really have access to the figures yet, so or I
Right.
haven't really looked into it, and I don't even know if I want to like spend money on the miniatures. I don't know. Maybe if they had one of like maybe one of my favorite like even more favorite Gundam of mine, maybe, but like Tall Geese is a pretty close one, so I do like Tall Geese quite a lot. But would I spend the entire money to buy a single? Because I
No,
don't
I get
care
that.
very much for the Leos, but I mean they're fine. But I would spend that kind of money. I guess it depends on how much price was overall. Yeah,
I get you.
I'm gonna be working on this. Be seems as though I have to start by finding what bigger one. I gotta get my full deluxe set O2. Don't know what that looks like. I think I looked at it a while back on Gundam store. They were so. I haven't really full 120. Wondering. Yay, we build and paint. Kaji paints, I build.
Yep. Yeah, I do know some gunpla builders who do both rather obsessively.
Yes, there are many. There are many who do. I'm not gonna pretend there isn't, because like I was a part of a gunpla group out here for a while, so I know that they had some people who painted and people who did a lot of other things. So I'm aware. I'm keenly aware. It's,
Yeah, so do you have a favorite kit that you've built so far? Or?
let me think. Favorite kit. Oh boy. I've built so many over the years. Hard to remember. Mostly I'm a high grade guy more than anything. I rarely buy masters. Price and also
Sure.
size are, of the things like they're big,
Yes, and storing them when you're done is a valid concern.
big. Trying to find where the PC part was, but yeah. Out of all the ones that I've over the years, what's one? Hmm. Got quite a few that like just overall I like, but whether or not like the build is like my favorite is
That's fair. Yeah, I remember I had a guest on about a year ago that was doing the real grade Zeta Gundam.
oh my gosh.
You already know where this is going, then I'm sure.
Yeah, I know where it's going.
Yeah, we spent about 3 hours building. It was building it while I was doing some of my Warhammer painting, and he finally got it set finished and was doing a transformation for the first time. And the post holding the ball joint for the left leg broke off.
Yep. The thing was is made of hopes and dreams and paper clips. From what I've heard, it is not good.
Yeah. Well, and then to top it all off, this was a reward for his community for hitting a goal here. So he had to
Oh,
build the thing using nothing but nail clippers as snips to get stuff off the sprues.
oh my! Did his audience hate him? They want him to like
I
suffer like the worst
I mean,
possible
he was a
fate?
good sport about it the whole time,
I
but
mean, I
yeah,
appreciate that. Like, it's like he troopered through it. That's good. But
yeah.
my
But it was
God.
definitely intended to maximize the pain, shall we say?
I mean, I remember when I was first getting into it and I didn't have access to like really good clippers and whatnot. I remember using toenail clippers and stuff to remove stuff from runners. I remember doing. Hmm. Okay.
By the way, for anybody who's thinking about taking it painting here, useful bit you may have noticed here is I've pulled him off the base. Um, a little trick called sub-assembly here. Do not permanently attach things you don't need to sometimes, or figure out the best logical ways to break it down because otherwise you can really find yourself hating life trying to figure out how to get the brush into certain places that would have been easier if you'd left it in two pieces. Yeah. I haven't built gunpla in actual gunpla in a very long time, but my very first kit was the Gav Custom Master Grade from 8th MS Team.
Oh, that's a good kit.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never gotten a chance to build it, but I know of it. I've looked at it, stared at it, and said I want it.
I get that. I get that.
For obvious reasons, but obviously, like I don't own a copy. I have the ground. I have a master grade ground Gundam. I haven't built yet. I bought like a couple years ago. COVID, but I haven't built it yet. But I also had like the little I had the high grade one. That
Okay.
one was built. I built that one when I was first starting out. It was a long, long time ago.
High grade's always a great place to get started, frankly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we wanted to talk about like my first, like overall first high grade and whatnot, my first high grade actually was um the heavy arms endless waltz heavy arms custom kits that came out back in like the early 2000s, whatnot.
Right.
It came out with all the what was it? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Um, the ones that like you could buy at a local like Target or something. I think we were at a Target and we were just perusing around, and obviously this is around the time when Gundam Wing was airing on TV and whatnot. And
right.
we saw these kits. Me and my brother saw the kits. We were big fans, and we were like, Mom, can we buy these?
Yep.
Or like, or I think we maybe used our allowance. I can't say for sure, but hell yeah, we want to grab those. They're something. They're not great. they were they were okay. Obviously we were young and stupid and didn't realize. Oh yeah, that's right. These are model kits, not action figures. With them.
I mean, in fairness, you'd be easily forgiven for getting confused like that for several reasons. One, there was the MSIA figure line at the time, which was the size of high grade figures, but made from rubberized plastic, basically.
We had some of those too.
That was a really nice figure line, actually.
Yeah.
And I had the Alex from that, and a couple of. I think I had the regular Zaku, the Char Zaku, and I think the Easy 8 on that line.
We had the Easy 8. Had a couple of the kits or some of the stuff from. Yeah, a lot of figures. Gundam Wing specifically, but we also had. I don't know if we had the Alex. I remember my brother like bought one of those like bigger sets that was like a deluxe set that came with a Gundam and the G base or the G.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called, but we had a couple of those. At some point, we had the Easy 8s toy as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember all of the. Been a long time. We used to have some of that back in
the day. Yep. So was Wing your first exposure to Gundam as well?
Yes, it was. That was my very first exposure to Gundam. I didn't have any other access to it. Like I'd been into robots and giant robots in general for a while. Like other shows that came out that you got to see on occasion. Had your trying to think like Voltron. I watched a lot of Power Rangers when that started. I was really big into Beast Wars when that came out.
Ooh, yeah, I remember watching all of
I was
that.
so dedicated. Like it aired like in the mornings, I think, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Yep.
So like every morning before I went to school, I was like tuning in to watch episodes.
I mean, it's one way to get kids up at 6 in the morning, right?
I was getting up at like 5 in the morning, but
Yeah, possibly so. Especially because we were East Coast, so. But yeah.
yeah, Gundam Wing was my first exposure. Um, Obviously during the time when it came out on Toonami, so
hmm
I really got into it. I was really loving it. I was, I guess, in a sense, like I do have somewhat of an interest in like warfare and other assorted things. I kind of like the more war esque storytelling that was going on.
hmm
So I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then as time went on, they released more Gundam shows as time progressed for a good while. So watch the original Gundam, watch G Gundam. I really liked all. I especially liked the OVAs or the shorter series. I definitely love those. I
Yeah.
like Eighth MS Team is one of my favorites. Stardust Memory, um, War in the
Oh
Pocket,
yes. 80 and
especially
83 were definitely among my favorites too.
especially if I wanted to like have a good like emotional cry. You watch War in the Pocket and then feel very sad afterwards. If you
Saddest hamburger you'll ever eat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Count Crazy's asking like, are you going to be coloring the Togies?
Me, I'm going to be generally going with the basic scheme here. So it's going to largely be white. It's actually got a little bit of black on the boosters here, red on top, and then gray for the gun. The Tallgeese actually is fairly simple, and actually for all three of these, I've got a large part of the work done just by priming them the right color. To be perfectly honest, um,
Makes it easy.
yeah. Well,
The one thing is Togeese like is a very basic color.
it is, but it's got a ton of panel lines on it here, and if you really want it to look good, you want it to bring out those details without, going full, off white, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
The ideal balance is getting the panel lines sharp and then keeping it a very bright white. So right now we are getting the panel lines filled, and that's going to obviously stain other areas, as you've noticed. We're just kind of accepting that. We're going to come back over and touch up the white and see if we can do so carefully enough. Or we could always get the Tamiya Gundam markers and.
Really cool
Are you familiar with
design.
those?
Yep, I have some. They
Okay, okay.
haven't
Yep, yeah.
used them in a good long age, but I do have them, whether or not they are working.
Yeah, no, their line filler is actually really good, and even if you decide not to do a full paint job on a model, even just taking that and running it through all the panel lines and wiping off the excess will do a ton to bring it to life.
Oh yeah, definitely. I used to do that a lot with the kits. I haven't done that in a long time, but I think like the last couple kits that I've built, their paint schemes and color schemes are like completely different than what I'm than using it the like gray or the black markers for it. They're
hmm
what have been the last three kits that I built? Let's master grade uh uh Infinite Justice Gundam, which is primarily like maroon reds and purples and not a whole lot of
Right.
white. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to panel line it, I need a different color for that. And the other two that I did was the GM Sniper 2 Canine model, which is a GM Sniper 2 just extra equipment. Um
Okay.
it was from Build Fighters. Really cool design. I really like it. It's all like war camo colors. It's like a bunch of like greens. So obviously, kind of need a different marker color to do that one too, because black's not gonna cut it. If I really wanted to pop and make it look really nice, and then the other one is it's the hold on at 5:30. Uh, what was it? The Gundam Command Quanta, which is also another like build fighter variant of the Gundam 00 Quanta, but it looks more like the full armor gun. Or
Okay.
the old school full armor Gundam, with all the green and whatnot.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Not Thunderbolt version. Thunderbolt version's got like blacks and reds and white, but I'm thinking
Yeah.
the OG original one. So yeah,
Gotta
that
admit, I
was
do love me some Thunderbolt though.
Thunderbolts. I have the Psycho Zaku in a box.
I mean, it's Gundam 83 with Cowboy Bebop's soundtrack. How can you hate that?
I mean, I'm wrong. I would have to seriously question people if they hated it. I mean, it may not be like my favorite Gundam show,
Sure, sure.
but I do really like. I think it's a pretty damn good one.
That's kind of like 83 itself in a way there, I mean, story-wise, nobody would tell you 83 has the best story, and if they do, you kind of have to look at them sideways a bit. But, it's a very fun ride all the same, and introduces some classic designs.
I think 83 is okay. Like, it's not my favorite out of, like, all of the, like, early 2000s and 90s OVAs, but I do like it well enough. I mean, I bought it on Blu-ray. So it's like...
Yeah.
It's not like I would say it's the worst one. It's definitely probably not the best one out of the ones I'm thinking of.
Yeah, here's the thing. 83 is great when Nina isn't on the screen.
I have heard a lot of people don't like Nina.
Yeah, it just kind of feels a little overdone. It's like, okay, when you've got Gato, what's appealing about Ko?
Yeah, that's a good question. You have a valid point. Like, there's a much more capable man in this.
Yeah. Well, and of course, there's the classic line from the very first episode. It's like, I'm the enemy, you idiot!
Ko is... No, I can't say Ko is intelligent. He is the hardest cook. That is true.
Yeah.
Kind of dumb.
I mean, as I've gotten a little older here, and certainly more the captain's age than Cole's age, shall we say, I can understand a little bit more of it in hindsight here, but all the same, yeah. It's like... Yeah. But actually, it does fit an interesting little niche that popped up for a while there, which was... trying to remake Top Gun in anime, which you saw it with that. You saw it in Macross Plus.
Oh yeah. I don't think
which actually...
I didn't watch Macross Plus. I have.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. I found it at a random local secondhand shop, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this and watch it, and I haven't done it.
It is absolutely worth the watch if you have it. Absolutely worth the watch.
Oh, absolutely.
That said, Sharon Apple will feel a little bit, prescient, shall we say. It's kind of amazing that she hasn't made a bit of a comeback with all the AI stuff going on these days. She was essentially, Hatsune Miku predicted about, 10 years before Miku.
Oh boy. See. What was it? What was our original question?
Let's see. We were chatting about 83, and I think we were kind of going on about just some of the different progressions
Oh,
that we'd seen along the way.
oh, right.
How we got into various things.
Actually, here's an interesting one. Like, out of the Gundam shows that you watched during the Toonami days, what was your favorite?
Ooh, great question. Um, if we're limiting it to say what I watched through about 2000, 2001, um,
Well, just Toonami in general. They were running Gundam till Gundam Seed. So,
okay, yeah, I definitely haven't seen anything Seed Destiny except for when I was in Japan. I think Destiny was literally just starting when I was there, and so caught the first episode. You know, the first episode item, so I'm not going to call this a spoiler alert per se, but saw Shin's sister run back for her cell phone, and
and the rest was history.
yes. Like I said, it's literally the first thing in there, so I'm not going to bother calling it a spoiler, but
I mean, yeah, it's really not a spoiler, to be honest. It's pretty cut and dry on that.
yep.
But,
But as far as let's see, actually watched on Toonami would be the original Gundam Wing and 8th MS Team, and then from there I had a 2 tape a week habit at Suncoast. It was pretty bad. So I had on VHS 80, 83, the original 3 Gundam movies, um, which were probably my favorite at the time there. I really latched onto UC Gundam. Um,
that is valid.
and then a friend of mine and I were going through and getting fan sub VHS off of eBay at the time as well. And so through that, we managed to pick up about half of Zeta Gundam, which it would be a long time before I finally got around to finishing it because, getting the other half. That was the nature of tape trading in those days. And let's see here. Gundam X was another favorite as well. Didn't have access to G Gundam at the time there.
Uh-oh. Sorry, chat. I lost a piece. Fortunately, I can see it.
Yep.
I got
By
it.
the way, my reference picture is a little hard to tell here. What color are the tall geese's eyes?
That is an excellent question. Eyeballs. Well, at least on the real grade box, it looks like it's blue.
Blue. Okay.
Original. Red ones. Yeah.
Okay.
It seems to be blue, and Captain is also confirming.
Excellent. So we'll go ahead and go with blue then.
Like a very light blue. I think.
And thank you very much, Cap.
Thank you for correcting us and making. I was not confident or positive. It was like for the Tolgies 3 here, it's color. No pilot man inside the suit. I'm Milliard.
Always one of the fun moments there when
But
putting
on the official
something
art, it's
together.
green. Like I guess take your pick, blue or green.
I've already dug out blue, and it does seem a nice little compliment. So,
Yeah. Oh, I found it. On the mark. Torso time. Yeah, like it's a little weird. Sometimes Gundam my colors are is don't know.
yeah.
Like some of them, like you can kind of tell them, and so like I guess it depends on what art of it you're looking at.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of them are yellow, some of them are green, some of them are blue, some of them are purple. And with tall geese, yeah, it's either probably blue or. But hey, wait, hold on a second. If the real grade is blue, wouldn't that technically be official coloring? That's the question.
That's a fair question to ask.
Or was that just an accident? Like, oops, we colored it the wrong eyes. Ah, it don't matter. No one's gonna notice.
Yep.
Ship it. That was at least for the real grade version.
Yep. Our
This
audience is a
one,
bunch of autistic people who memorize all the stats. They won't notice.
they will most definitely notice. But like for this Tall Geese 3, for its eyes, it's got a sticker. So make of that what you will. It's what you make of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Now, to quote the Moblin and Zelda, it's a secret to everybody.
Jesus. Yeah, they probably are. They're green. They're whatever color you want them to be. Let's not split
Yep.
hairs.
Yep. This one's going to be blue because that's what I settled on there. It's already done.
It is
And
what you.
actually, it's kind of showing pretty nice there. Let's see if
Oh
maybe
yeah,
get.
I can see it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell how it looks on the camera. There are times like, I'm thinking my paint job's looking pretty terrible looking at it in person. Then I'll hold it up and look at it through OBS. It's like, wow, actually the camera, like, this camera's being really kind to it.
Camera has decided it has deemed it worthy.
Yes.
Worthy of being good enough. Or it's like, oh, I want you to look at this now. Focus, hyper focus.
Yes.
I'm going to have to key again. Finding the runners. Again.
Ah, yes.
Because why make it easy? Make it difficult.
I mean, step one of building any model is snip off all the pieces.
Yep. I always go step by step, and I never take like I know some people who will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna just like remove everything off the runner and then build it." I'm like, "Are you insane? Have you lost your mind? How would you be able to keep track of all that? I certainly couldn't. You were
Yep.
mad. Lost your cotton picking mind." Well, hey, I guess if they like know the ins and outs of the kit and they're smart enough to figure it out, like I guess. Jesus, I'm fine.
So polycaps, love them or hate them?
Polycaps? Polycaps are great. Why would anybody have an issue with a polycap?
Oh, I've seen some people that absolutely hate them over the years. I guess largely due to things like dry rot or things like that, or just because they tend to go on to the softest parts of the model, the most fragile parts, and so therefore, I think it might just be trauma from things like our real grade Zeta incident.
It's like, well, one, don't buy a real grade then, if that's the like. I think for the most part, like most of the kits that I have, like the one thing that always bugs me about certain model kits that I've purchased in the past is if it doesn't have polycaps or
Hmm.
has and it's just based entirely on friction,
Right?
the friction joints suck so damn bad. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, no, the mod kit I mentioned, the GM Sniper 2K9, like they cut the leg parts, or they made new leg pieces because that mobile suit dual wields pistols on top of the sniper rifle and all the other equipment it has. Because it's like it's armed to the gills with weapons. It looks very tactical. But the problem is that when they added the holsters for the pistols, they don't stay on very good. So if you move the model kit in any way and you don't like fasten or glue them on, those things are
Hmm.
coming off because there's no polycap, there's nothing holding it there. It's purely a friction joint. And I hate it. It's like I wanted to hold the holster, but like and I do, but it's very finicky. And I'm pretty positive I know of some other kits that have similar issues that I've built where it's like this is purely a friction joint. Where's the polycap? Why isn't there a polycap with this one in particular? Because I feel like
Yes.
it could use one. Because it's like it's holding on by hopes and prayers. Plastic warps over time,
Yep.
and becomes brittle, especially if it's in the elements. So that thing's not gonna stay on it forever. But I mean, yeah, for the most part, like I think polycaps are fine because for the most part, you're never gonna see the polycaps, and also I think they're more easily replaceable. Like if you were to damage them, because like a lot of mobile suits share similar polycaps, so you could probably just makeshift one to keep things together. Have to.
Sure.
So I haven't had a reason to hate them. I can think.
That makes sense. So, what would you consider the most obscure piece of gunplay you've done?
Obscure gunpla I've done. I wouldn't say it's Gundam related because it isn't. The most
Okay.
obscure model kit I have is from the nine. Well, technically I have two. One I haven't built. One of them is a old Bandai kit for Battleship Yamato. I
Ooh.
have like it's one of those like really small miniature ones that I found at a local. It was at a card shop of all things. That didn't have model kits or anything. They just randomly had it. I purchased it. It's not the Yamato. It's something else. I don't know what it was, but I was like, oh, this looks cool. This might be nice. Like I could build it, paint it, whatever, and then maybe have it as a nice little desk ornament or a little side thing.
Yeah.
And then the other one I got while I was at KomoriCon here, um, like 2016, and it was the Ingram Pat Labor, and it was like
Ooh.
the year on
Classic
it
there.
was like 1980, like 1988 or 1989. Uh, I
Sounds that
did
right?
I did build that one. I built it while I was at that convention, because there was a builder meetup, and well, it's a nice model kit for its age. It's not super articulate or very amazing, but it's like it gets the general silhouette. But the one thing about it that I don't like is considering that the Ingrams or the Patlabors in general, they have the cloth thing to cover the joints. They
Oh,
they
okay.
used a plasticky rubbery substance, kind of similar to polycaps. Uh, but this body torso flew away, and oh boy, howdy! Over time, those parts have become so brittle and so fallen apart that like bending a joint and whatnot is not ideal. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that one's not my favorite kit. I mean, I like it well enough, but I keep a lot of I still have a bunch of like the older kits that I do have, and I'm all like, what am I gonna do with them? Am I gonna keep them? Am I gonna toss them? What am I gonna do with them? And the Ingram I kind of want to keep because there's a part of me that wants to fiddle around with it and maybe replace that material with something else, like maybe also paint it or like do a little bit of work on it just to kind of
Hmm.
bring it back to life a little bit. But obviously, like, I don't have a lot of time or money for that, so we'll see what
True.
happens.
Yeah. Childhood
Masquerade
is.
SD Gundam.
Yeah. Childhood is realizing you can do anything. Adulthood is realizing that you can only do so many things out of everything.
Oh, hey, Gloria! How's it going?
Hey, Gloria, it's good to see you.
Yeah, I'm building with Kaji here. Like I'm building the Tall Geese 3 Master Grade, and he's painting a Tall Geese,
Yes.
a Tall Geese miniature. How have you
Good.
been?
There's a closer look at it for now.
Yeah, I mean I'd show a close up, but all I have is to show for my work right now is this. It's like it's not even a full torso; it's a quarter of a torso. 21.
And Captain, I just saw your message there. I had not heard about the Master Grade SD Gundam
I
there.
think I've heard of them, but I've not really seen them.
As far as quirky things go, one thing that I've always wanted to do, but I've just never wanted to throw the five or probably $800 now at it, is are you familiar with the Zeta Zaku?
You mean the Zeta Gundam with a Zaku on its head?
Yes, from
Okay.
Double Zeta.
Yeah, the Zeta lost its head and they replaced it with a Zaku. I remember that.
Yep, yep, because it was the only thing they had available at the time, theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically. I was mistaken. I was about to cut something else off the runner that was not appropriate part.
Ah,
Glad I
good
caught
thing you.
that.
Yes.
Painting is not your strong suit. Well, honestly, I don't paint much either. So, like aside from like panel lining things, I've tried to paint a few things. Like I tried to paint an old high grade Tall Geese 3. Similar to that, we mentioned it earlier. Like my first gunpla build was a high grade Endless Waltz version of Heavy Arms, and yeah, that was like one of my. But yeah, I met at some point like I grabbed the Tall Geese 3 and realized one interesting thing about that particular model back in the day.
What's that?
It's all one color. There are no other parts that are a separate color at all. it's all white. I mean, and also like it has all the parts and components that you can make it into the Tall Geese 2, the Tall Geese 1. It comes with all the necessary parts for it, but there are no color pieces at all. Everything is white. If you want it to look good, you have to paint it yourself. The only other option is stickers. And that, like, as a now more, a more veteran builder now, I'm like, that's just sad, because even the other Gundam from that line have individual colors, even a little bit. I remember Heavy Arms having both white and green in its parts. And my brother had Death Scythe Custom, so black and white.
Yep.
You got it for later. Now, whose audio is cutting out? Be specific. Where's my? I buried the PC runner. Explains where it went. But actually, probably gonna need. Yeah, I'm gonna the one. Gundam base. Did I hear about the Gundam base in Chicago? I believe so. Yes. Here's the thing now. Interesting they chose Chicago of all places for the first Gundam base in the U.S. But am I ever gonna get to go to Chicago? Probably not. But it's there if I ever got the chance. There was a chance to like go to one of the pop-ups at some point. That was happening out here. They were going all across country, but I didn't get to go. I didn't have the money.
I get that.
And that was very, very sad. I was like asking asking like my brother and other people, and it's like, sorry, no. And I'm like, it's too last minute. Like, I don't have the time to prep for it. I'm gonna just have to base it off of my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, I get that. And as we were mentioning the other night here, I've kind of had to put off Offkai again this year because car troubles kind of ate my travel budget.
We heard about that.
Yep.
You told me because I asked you about it. I was going because the group that we're going with was looking for the Airbnb. Okay, well, let me see if he's available. Answer to that is no, because car trouble.
Yeah.
It is very, very unfortunate.
But maybe next time.
Things happen.
Yeah. Part of it is coming from the East Coast, it's always figuring out flights and things like that. And
oh yeah.
Admittedly, part of it is I hate flying to begin with, but also just booking a flight in general.
Gloria, we need to get you a vacation. I have told you this multiple times. Told you this multiple times. We need to figure something out for that. Okay? I don't know if this is how they're exactly supposed to be, but I'm going to go with it. But yes, at some point, we need to figure something out. Maybe that'll be one of my next plans. I got other plans this year aside from Offkai, but so we're gonna see what happens with those plans.
I hear you, Gloria. I hear you.
Take a staycation with no bills, and that would be great. I mean, you know what? That's fair. That's also very valid. Like I can't knock you for that one. I'm like, sure. Staycation also would work. All the way at the is the other A runner. Missing an A runner. Here we go. A16. There it is. I found him. This is this blue
Yay!
tiny, tiny little A runner.
Tiny, tiny turtle.
But yeah, no, that's Gloria. I'll talk to you about it at some point. We'll figure something out. We will figure something out. I think like the best course of action would be to like, if nothing else, go to a local convention. Go to one that's nearby. I think that's probably your best bet. And who knows? Maybe other people can meet with you over there.
On the side, I thought I had this Space Leo's coloring figured out here, and I had a red and blue primer here, and I figured I'd go with the red and put blue paint over it and get that purple. But the blue paint over the red primer just ended up being even bolder blue, so it's like, okay, time to reevaluate this plan.
Uh-oh. Only bet. You know what? Hey, look. My closest convention is only a few hours away from me. And if I can go to that convention, there's nothing technically stopping you from going to one of your. Just take a and hey, it doesn't even technically have to be with a bunch of friends. Is like, or at least your friends online. Just go. Just go. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. No, all that jazz.
I was wondering if you were going to go quoting that scene.
Yeah, SakuraCon is in Seattle. There's a lot. It's called Working Bills. It's also called PTO.
I'm self-employed. We don't have that.
Well, I mean, for those of us who are regularly employed, there's this wonderful thing that exists. It's called PTO.
Yeah. The one time I worked at a job that did have PTO, I was always afraid to take any of it because it was, largely a sales job, frankly. And so it's like, oh, that's great. You still have to make up your quota there, however you need to do it. And yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I ended up just taking it all in one 2-week run in July, and it's like, you know what? We're just not hitting goal this month.
They put build is a little bit more complex.
It is a master grade.
Where this oddly shaped blue part goes.
Yeah.
Where exactly does it go? So would be myself.
Yes, exactly.
There's things that people have to do to get it.
Yeah, no, and as someone who also is kind of a family caretaker over here, I definitely understand that feeling. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Play the guitar on the hidden TV.
And you care to express yourself, designers, who care to elaborate and explain this piece. It's not gonna go in this way. Oh, okay, now I figured. Took a little bit of finagling, but I figured it out. I did it. Woo! Finally. I had to really like hone in and look at like, okay, how, like, why is it the way that it is? It has all these little grill marks and whatnot, and I can't quite figure out what it's trying to tell me.
Simple answer is no. Not simple as like, well, I can give instructions.
True. It's fine. I was just misunderstanding. Did not fully understand the plan. But I'm getting it. We've got vents. Hooray!
This Nightwolf he just vented.
Vented. Indeed. Don't seem to be wrong, but there's this weird feeling in the back of my head. This isn't right at all. It is right. Really hone in on the oh, this, I do have it. Said to him. Still looking at the box and looking at the instructions, it says that it's correct. Oh no, I'm fiddling with this thing and trying to figure out where the piece is supposed to go. Just having a bit of a time. Some of these, I think it's that like the construction, like some master grades are not this complicated, but the tall geese is a very has a somewhat unique body structure and attachments like the wings and whatnot, so it's a little bit on the weird side.
Yeah.
I think that's what's throwing me off here. That this is not normal. This is abnormal. Also, I don't typically build very many maps. That's probably also
fair. On the side here, I think this ground layout's actually come together pretty quickly.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
God, you're making so much progress while I'm here puttering away.
In fairness, the primers did a lot for Kachi's progress here.
That is true. It gave you a distinct advantage. Are we speedrunning
Yes.
it? No, but I would probably lose because I think painting it would be quicker than building this thing.
Yeah, painting can be as long or as short as you want it to be.
That is true. Well, no, what I'm saying is that master grades for me typically a good amount of time.
Yeah.
The last master grade I did was like I said, the Infinite Justice. That one took a bit. Took me a good long while. Where's he? Track you down. I know what you're doing. I can see you. Yeah. It's nice to relax and do some building. I haven't done it. At least now I had a proper excuse. Go do other stuff, Gloriel. We will be here.
Yeah, no, it's good seeing you though.
Yeah, good to see you. We'll do more Shishingo soon. Other stuff. Okay? I will be talking to you later. I've obviously been very busy, but I'm gonna be pestering you for things later.
Bother. Yeah, doing a bunch of classic internet memes here tonight. Sorry, chat.
Don't apologize. Why would you apologize for jokes?
Exactly.
Those things. Plastic on plastic friction. I was being a little bit of a turd there first. Oh no, this is going to be a pain in my butt. Never mind. I got it. Figured it out. What? Wait, am I supposed to do two of them? Now it's telling me like, oh, you could do E11 and E15. Awesome, great. Okay, do that.
And then you get into optional builds.
Optional builds, hooray! I do kind of like optional builds. There's like I've like there are other projects I would like to do that are Gundam related. I haven't done, but like I've tried to do custom paint jobs or wanted to do custom builds and stuff. Mostly because I spent a good chunk of time, playing a lot of Gundam Breaker. So like all these fun ideas for like, oh, I could make this build a reality. Like, I could do that. And
Fair enough.
and obviously like I have some of the kits for it or have the kits for it and I'm like, oh. Now all I need to do is find the time to build the kits and then do the customizing. And I'm busy with all this other stuff. Never mind.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future. At the moment, probably not any. I mean, if I was to, at the very least, build the other kit that I need to build, I could then start doing the mishmash. I could start the kit bash process and actually make some type of progress on it. But I have yet to do that. I just need to get it started. This is the best way to put it. I have the there's two of the kits. It was one of the builds I had for Gundam Breaker 3. Actually, it was a uh it was a mixture of several couple of the Gundam Double O kits, like kind of like a bit of the Curios, a bit of the Gundam Double O, and
Okay.
then to kind of throw a little bit of oddity into it, the Gundam Age Double Bullet or the Age 2 Double Bullet. And I was like, oh,
Okay.
that's such a it was such a fun combo I made. It kind of became like one of my favorite suits in Gundam Breaker 3. Like, I want to make it in real life. Technically, I have most of the pieces for it. Because I already had a Gundam Double O from way back when that's collecting dust and not doing anything, and I have a Gundam Curios. So all I needed was the Double O bullet, or the Age 2 Double Bullet, which I also had, or that I eventually found, which is very hard to do, considering a lot of the Gundam Age kits are like rare nowadays.
Mm.
Finding them is difficult because it was not a very popular show, and therefore it not kits do not get reprinted.
Gotcha. So, out of curiosity, you've seen Build Fighters, right?
Yes, I have watched pretty much every iteration of the Build Fighter shows because there's a lot of them. But yep, I've seen Build
Yes.
Fighters.
Okay, in that case, you can probably answer something that I've wondered about for a while here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember visiting a friend who is the one that really got me deep into the Gundam fandom here. Um, he had a series of boxes on his shelf, just duplicates of this one particular kit. The Mrs. Sazabi. What's the deal with that?
The Mrs. Sasabi, that was from the first Gundam Breaker. Or sorry, not. I'm getting these mixed. They came out roughly the same time. Okay.
Fair enough.
So much so that when the second anime season, Build Fighters Try came out, and then Gundam Breaker, was it 2 came out, those suits became like kind of like a added on DLC of some kind.
Okay.
Came out roughly at the same time. But in Build Fighters, the first season, there was a girl. I don't remember her real name. She has a real name, but they call her Aina. Mostly like just out of the fact that she's supposed to be like a kind of quote unquote. She's one of the quote unquote antagonists, but she's roaming about doing other things, while she's not in the tournament, and her kind of quote unquote bad guy costume thing that she's got going on like covers her face so no one sees it. So she just has a different. She just goes by Aina because it's like, oh, because the main protagonist is such a Gundam nerd that he calls her Aina because she starts saying a word that's similar to Aina. He's like, oh, so your name's Aina, and she just goes with it to cover herself.
Right.
So she had at first the show she has a like custom cubule, and then
Ooh,
after
always a favorite.
yeah, good choice, good choice. She had a special little gimmick that all the funnels were invisible to make it even more difficult to deal with her. And when the protagonists beat her and and kind of free her because she's kind of being used, she becomes their friend, and then there's a party or celebration right before the finals where a massive amount of references to Gundam is like you could see a bunch of characters that are clearly supposed to represent like characters from all the different shows. Like you could see
Hmm.
People who look like Sayla. There's a guy that looks almost identical to Char, and he's the main protagonist's dad is like he went back home because he'd been away because he's a judge for the tournament. He comes
Hmm.
home to his wife and whatnot and realizes that they're not there, and he's looking all over the place trying to find them. And then there's a guy dressed as Char dropping like Char lines. He's like, "Shut up!" and then he like runs off. But during the fine or right before the finals, when everyone's like having a good time, a bunch of people are like building kits and just enjoying each other's company. She like takes the Sasabi and builds a custom variant of it, which was, and then she uses it in like one fight. Or like no, technically, I guess she uses them in two fights, I guess. But that explains why that's a thing. it's
Okay, okay.
it was her new kit or her new suit for competitions.
Gotcha.
F1. Okay. So many run. Many. Never stay once.
It's definitely talent. Yes.
Have that really nice organized. Has to be. I know I saw you. Can't hide from me.
Life forms, precious little life forms. Life
I'm
forms.
struggling.
Where are you?
I
Classic Star Trek there.
wasn't paying attention.
Oh, uh, you remember? Did you watch Next Generation?
Yep, I watched quite
Oh,
a bit of it.
okay, yeah. You remember in I think it was First Contact when Data got his. No, it was Generations, I guess, where Data got his emotion chip.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and one of the quirks there is they were telling him to scan one of the planets for life forms, and he just kind of starts making up a little song to sing to himself while he's doing it.
I see. I been a long time.
Oh, I get it. It's been a while for me too.
Like I was trying to blank. What talking about? Favorite character, Mr. Rawl. Of course he is because it's just Lieutenant Rawl. It's
Yep.
just Rawl. That's all it is. It's just Rawl. Where being having like being dressed like an uncle. That's literally all he is. I mean, don't get me wrong, he looks fantastic. But definitely wrong. Oh, oh, okay. In order to put this piece in, we have to put cockpit. I gotcha. Okay. Make things a little bit easier. Combo roll. I mean, he is one of my favorite characters in the original Gundam. So don't get me wrong, I like him in Build Fighters.
Yep.
He's fantastic. Very funny. Or the fact that he wants everybody to be convinced that he's 35 years old. Sure you are, buddy.
I mean, there's certain actresses in the Japanese VA world that, yeah, one in particular I can think of, Kasumi's voice actress from Ramen One Half, that is Forever 17.
Well, in some cases that might be true, but not really for him. He does not look. He looks like Rambo Raw. I'm sorry. He is not 35 years old. I refuse to acknowledge that.
Um, well, I mean, look at the cast of Cheers when it first aired. Look who was in their 30s at the time and how they looked.
I mean, I guess in some cases there you could make an argument. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like
All I'm saying is
it's done as a
35 in one generation looks very different from 35 in another generation.
true, 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 true. I just think as a gag in the show, it is hilariously fun.
Indeed.
Tries to do the whole thing of like, I'm 35, and everyone's like, no, you're not. No way in heck are you 35. You do not look it. I'm like, yeah, he's kind of it a bit.
I mean, I had people thinking I was 35 when I was like 15. Um,
I
yeah,
had people thinking I was a teenager when I was in my 20s and early 30s.
yeah. For me, it was that yeah, I had a full beard at 15. So, yeah.
Do it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I was too straight laced of a kid to ever actually attempt to leverage this for evil. I've never been carded in my life because somebody seriously doubted my age.
I see. Okay, I think we're good. And now Ramba's a good character in that show. I do like him quite a bit. Now we let go of F anymore. Now we need some B parts. One, C1. Oh, part of one of the things I need. There is a mentor in our world. I like it for mystery. I mean, that's fair. It's very valid. Makes for a good mentor. A good dude. And the only
Yeah.
thing I think he's a little bit wrong with is trying to hit on Say's mom while his dad is away. Probably the only part of his character I'm like, oh come on, man. It's like no honor. Like the dude that you're trying to steal the woman of is a former champion. You're not a champion. He's probably gonna kick your butt.
Well, apparently, say his mom has got it going on.
Does. That's the thing. That is quite literally the reason, for the most part. But still, at the same time, it's like I wouldn't recommend it, sir. That's a little bit mean. Inappropriate behavior, sir, for someone as distinguished as yourself. Why do I have an alarm at 6:30? Why are there so many alarms? I don't remember why I made those alarms. I really can't remember. I'm pretty sure I had a reason.
To remind you to set an alarm.
Yes, be reminder of you have an alarm. You need to do this at this time or this at this time. Like, but I don't need to do that thing at this time right now. It's like, oh, mind. Five will hit my camera. The runner ran into the camera. Drive by runner. This looks pretty good right now.
Thank you. Just kind of trying to find details to work on here.
Valid.
Right now we're doing a lot of the black trim work on him.
What are your opinion on the people who piloted the Tullies?
So far as I know, that would be just Zex and Trays, right?
Yep, Zex and Trays. Very different gentlemen.
True.
I mean, working for the same organization, obviously, but.
I mean, yes and no. I don't think White Fang was Trays affiliated, was it? It's been a long time since I've watched Wing.
He worked with Oz as Zex for a while.
Right.
Until he, reclaimed his original
name.
I don't know. I was just thinking, like, oh, you know what? Speaking of Gundam Wing,
yeah,
it technically had 2 antagonists. Chunk of its runtime. So.
It did.
I don't remember a whole lot about. Like, I remember more about Milliardo than I do about Praise. So.
Fair enough. I seem to recall Trays being generally the more sympathetic of the two. But again, it's been like 20, 25 years since I last watched Wing, so forgive me if I'm mixing up some things or forgetting some very important details here.
I guess it would depend on like how you like they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of figured Relina's whole, armed pacifism thing was honestly somewhat moronic. It's like
definitely not the smartest thing to.
Yeah. At the same time, as far as Zex is concerned, I don't necessarily paint that onto him because, I mean, he was manipulating that for his own ends. So, yeah, his sister was just useful in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Man, it makes me think like I should probably rewatch the show again because it has been a long time. Like,
yeah, it has.
the last Gundam show that I rewatched or that I watched in full was Gundam Seed again.
Okay.
Even I haven't watched Gundam Seed Freedom yet.
How did it hold up?
I haven't watched it yet. That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm saying that when you rewatched Seed, how did it hold up?
Considering that originally I freaking hated it. Quite a bit. I think it's like it had been like the second time I had rewatched it. Like I had rewatched it both dubbed and subbed. Second time, technically the third time. My experience with the original Gundam Seed was not great because I only saw bits and pieces of it back during its Toonami run. And
Okay.
then the only other way that I experienced the story was by buying the cut like film versions of the series, and it was
Ah.
bad. It was atrociously bad. I hated the main protagonist. I hated most of the characters. I could not get behind them at all. They 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 whined way too much. Kira cried a lot. Like, and I don't have a problem with Gundam protagonist crying, but like we're talking about like almost every we're talking about a 3 movie series, and predominantly a good chunk of it is Kira bawling his eyes out.
Get the
So
damn
it
robot,
does.
Shinji.
I think that would make Shinji look tame in comparison. I'm gonna just be. I don't. I've never really watched much of Evangelion, but I could definitely say with authority that he would make Shinji look like a man in comparison.
Yeah, when Shinji's the man in the room, you know you've got bigger issues to worry about.
At least in the movie version. But when I went back and I watched, and for like probably several years, I was like, "Yep, I don't like Gundam Seed. I think it sucks." And then I watched Destiny, and I had my thoughts in a sense tainted by other people who were like doing videos and discussions on YouTube talking about it because I didn't watch it when it was airing. I didn't buy a DVD set or
Mm-hmm.
anything. And then I see people talking about how bad Destiny is, and then just I'm like, is it really that bad? I mean, don't get me wrong, Seed was bad, but like, how bad could Destiny be? So I go, I watch Destiny. I'm like, yeah, no, this is not good at all, and I ended up hating it even more. It's like I might have been like partially tainted by people's opinions, but I think at the same time, like, no, it definitely has a lot of issues and problems that are holding it back from being decent. Um,
That's fair.
there's and the funny thing is, it's not entirely on the show per se. It's because they ran into production issues while they were making it. The director's wife, who was the lead writer, got sick during production. She had cancer, if I'm remembering correctly, and
Ooh.
unfortunately, they had to like pad the show out with a bunch of background story or like flashbacks and other forms of
Yeah.
just trying to make up for the fact of, dear Lord, we can't. We need to fill in gaps while we're here because we got like 50 episodes, and
Right.
by the end of it, it was like, well, that wasn't good. um, I don't know if I would say it's the worst thing Gundam related media I've ever seen. I don't since I've seen other ones now. I don't know if I can give it that moniker anymore. Because actually, I think that out of all the Gundam shows I've watched, there's only one that I truly hate more than that one, and that is, of course, granted, it has been probably a decade or so since I watched Destiny. Maybe if I rewatched it, maybe it would rekindle my disdain. I don't know. um, but like the only show I could think of that like I ended up genuinely not liking and like hating it was Gundam Build Divers, because pretty much nothing happens. Like there's like very little tension, drama, or like anything happening in the
Hmm.
show for for the entire runtime, and I'm like until like the very end, like the last few episodes. Then it's all big battles and all this other stuff, and it's all to like save an AI who I don't care about it to begin with. And I was like, nope,
Hmm.
this is worse. Mostly just because it does absolutely nothing with its premise. It does absolutely nothing. And I think the worst thing that a show
Yeah.
can do is like, I'm fine if a show like ticks me off because it tried something different. It's like at least it tried to do something. But it's even abysmally worse when you choose to not do anything at all.
Yeah. It's a little more frustrating than wasted potential. I
Yeah,
get you.
yeah. Let me see. I need A, F, and C. I need a different thing. There's the F runner. I found F. Excellent. A and C. The A runner.
So when you
Go ahead.
so when you first watched Wing, cut or uncut?
Originally, I was watching cut version. Watching it
Yeah.
on TV after school. After high
Yeah,
school.
so that would have been the cut version.
Yeah.
'Cause the uncut was airing the same day as part of the midnight run, so you kind of had to set the VHS tape recorder for that.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I spent a fair bit of late nights watching shows.
Yep. Yeah, no, we would watch it during the day just to.
Technology. I didn't have the recording capability, so yeah, but just.
Yeah. We would watch the. I think your audio might have cut there a bit.
Did it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. But yeah, no, we would watch the cut one when we got home during the day there because why wait? And then we would set the tape to record the midnight one so we could catch that the next day. Yep.
I did not have the capability to do that. Would have been nice. But no.
Yeah.
I think like that I may have caught the show every now and then on Adult Swim and stuff. It has been a while.
Yeah. Aderu konbanwa.
Oh, konnichiwa.
Yeah. Here's a look at what we've done so far here, Drift.
His first name wrong for my. Yeah, the new English dub. For some reason, changed her name of Lacus to Lacus, and I don't know why.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm just
like,
Jesus, why? Why is it wrong? Or at the very least, like obviously, like I was so accustomed to it from the original dub, like oh yeah, Lacus. And now apparently no. Now it's Lacus, despite the fact that the anime pronounces it Lacus, or the sub pronounces it Lacus. Like, well, I think that in this case, you guys are the ones who screwed it up. You told your voice actress or the voice cast to say the name wrong. Good job.
One of my biggest complaints with dubs, not to be picky here. I'm fine with dubs existing and all. Me and my brother's dyslexic. It helps him enjoy it. I'm fine with that. That said, that doesn't mean that everything is automatically quality either, if you know what I mean. And one of the biggest...
Yeah, no, you are correct.
And one of the biggest things that bugs me with some dubs is when they don't bother to brief the whole cast on here's how you pronounce the names. And so you have 3 different pronunciations going around because no cast members pronounce it the same.
Well, in the case of this, it's like, no, everybody says her name the exact same way. So clearly the directing cast said, no, this is how her name is pronounced. I'm like...
Well, in that case, I can't blame the actors, per se, if the director enforced it, but yeah.
It's like, no, that's not how her name is pronounced. I don't know anybody who has ever called her Lacus. Unless the Japanese told you that that's the proper pronunciation, like maybe it is. I don't know, but
and there's been some.
It certainly don't seem like it to me. I'm gonna keep calling her Lacus. So screw you.
Well, there have definitely been some weird ones on official name discussions over the years. It's like Zeta Gundam. The protagonist's name is Camille, is how they pronounce it in Japanese, based off the French name Camille.
Right.
Well, and for many years, Camille, spelled like French, was used as the common form of it online in the absence of any official one, although it often would appear in some official materials and things like that. But around like 20 years ago, Bandai decided to just standardize it. Like, nope, nope. The official name is Kamiyu, Kamiyu, and it's like, really?
Ah,
And it's like, I respect where it comes from, but really?
that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, especially when, I mean, have you watched Zeta?
Oh yeah, Zed is one of my favorites.
Yeah, so a lot of the plot actually, especially early on, revolves around his name. It's like
Camille's a man's name, and I'm a man.
exactly.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's kind of important. Kind of
yes,
key
it's
important part of his personality.
and it defines his rivalry with Jared.
Yeah,
So
definitely. So it's like, no, pronounce his name correctly, please.
no,
No,
I mean I have no problem with the Japanese,
yeah,
saying it
like
as
if you're watching
Kamiyu,
the yeah, if his
but to standardize the official romanized, non-Japanese spelling of it as the Japanese approximation of the name, it's like, hmm.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I can see where the decision probably came from, as their core audience is Japan, and as Japanese Twitter is reminding people, if it's for the Japanese, so if you're
It's
not
there.
on board with that, go elsewhere.
That's theirs
um,
first and foremost, obviously.
yeah, so I mean, I can respect that, but at the same time, when you're talking about how it interfaces with non-Japanese here to standardize it like that, when the plot says its origin is elsewhere, is a little backwards, in my opinion.
Hmm. I could see that. Didn't have a DVR when you were growing up. Neither did I. Welcome to the
No,
club.
I've never had a DVR. I did have about a half dozen VCRs, though.
I mean, those do come in handy if you got a bunch of them.
Yep. No, I
Used
would
to be loose.
regularly borrow things from friends and copy them. We even figured out how to defeat the macrovision and all that. Um, which, for those who don't know what macrovision is, it was an early form of copy protection that was put on DVDs most. Yeah, DVDs mostly. You could see a form of it on VHS, I think maybe. Certain tapes where basically it would detect it. It's like, okay, you know what? They've hit the record button, so scramble the signal. Um,
Ah, I see. Uh oh. Don't make me have to brute force this thing. I don't want to do that. Not to, because this is very expensive.
yep.
In the right spot. Dang. Be a tough one. Why are you not going in? Go in. Gosh darn it. End up bending or breaking this. I'm gonna riot. I'll be like, Bandai, what the fudge did you do? And yes, I'm gonna blame Bandai for it because production. Someone wasn't
And as
keeping
we
quality controlling this stuff.
let's say as we've been going on here, real grade Zeta.
That was a choice, Bandai. You chose that. Come from Seed, I love that. It's called Gundam. It's called Gundam.
Yeah, yeah. Nichols piano. Yeah, I vaguely remember this track here.
Wait,
'Cause
is that Nicole's thing?
yeah, from because yeah, spoiler alert for a 25-year-old series. I think he got killed, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's the joke. That's been the meme and the joke in the in portions of the community of well, like the only thing he was good for was for dying, and because he
Ah,
played the piano. Therefore, we joke about the fact that he died, and the only thing that was a character trait that we remember is that he played the piano.
got it.
Classical
Yeah,
music's
no.
fun.
The
Like
big joke I remember from the period was Hein's death.
Heinz.
Hein, yeah, he was a one-off character basically that they killed almost instantly. That was just there so they could give a J-pop star cameo in the series.
Gundam Seed?
Yep,
Wait, was Heinz supposed to be the pop star in question?
it was the name of the character played by the pop star.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he must have been a very minor character because I don't remember him.
Yes, very minor. He only appeared in one episode, basically just to get redshirted. Um,
Good job. I'm struggling here. I'm very agitated by this particular part of the build. It doesn't make any sense.
all right, cheer emotes in chat to try and encourage Nightwolf here.
I just don't want to break the thing. Also, I don't want to also, sometimes I wonder, like, who's responsible for builds? I know they quality test them. I think I remember him vaguely. I remember there was another guy that was like in Destiny that was around for a little while and then he died. As is
He
the
might
case with
have been
many
a
characters.
Destiny character, to be honest.
That's definitely possible. What's his name again?
Hein, Heine. Also, hi, Jag.
How did you spell his name again?
Heine.
Okay, yeah, this is a Destiny character.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I recognize him. He was in Destiny for a little bit. If I remember correctly, yeah, he piloted a variation of a goof called the Goofy Gun.
Yep. And it ignited all right.
Yeah, it ignited it. Why? Who?
Also, Jag, since you're here, let me go ahead and give you a close up of some of what I've been doing on your minis here. He's the one that purchased them for us. So, install geese for you.
Really baffled and confused by this. No, I didn't mess up the assembly at all.
Then the two Leos here.
Dude.
Yeah, thank you.
I do not know if I can continue to make progress on this thing because my arms have this board has decided it wants to fight me. Like, I mean, I'm applying a fairly substantial amount of pressure on this thing. I'm not joking when I say that, by the way. I'm putting in a good amount
Oh,
of
I know
pressure
you're not.
to try and get this dang thing in, but it is not. It is not going in. And what am I doing wrong here? It's kind of an important part. So, huh? Don't know what I'm supposed to do in this situation and scenario, except for to cry.
And thank you very much, Jeg.
I'm gonna have to modify this thing to get it to fully assemble properly. Because if that's the case, I'm gonna very and agitated. Ah! I don't want to hurt my fingers.
You won't like me when I'm agitated.
You won't like me when I'm agitated. Let's just upside down. Would that work? No. Obviously, that's not how it's supposed to work. My. Well, I'm not doing it wrong. See what happens if I hit the other. Don't think that this is the correct. This is definitely not the correct way. No, it won't even connect in backwards. It's fantastic. Everybody clap and cheer for me because I'm about to. What I'm gonna do? Maybe. Hmm.
Thank you, Jeg. Got your cheering section here.
Thank you. Doing help. Ah, like maybe if I did of not going in either.
Oh, yeah. If in doubt, take a rubber mallet to it.
I don't know if rubber mallet's gonna be enough.
I was about to say, take that advice at your own peril there.
Yes, let's use a rubber mallet on a plastic toy. That's a brilliant strategy. That'll clearly not cause a problem and make me have to buy another one whenever it goes back in stock.
I mean, hey, you know, it's not a real hammer, right?
Right? Just tap it into place. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Yeah, I don't think tapping in. Because clearly my fingers say otherwise. Tapping in is not an option. It's saying no. Get it. Doing. It's an interesting assembly. I'm not saying it's a bad assembly. It's just that the pieces themselves, ball joint doesn't want to go into the hole that they have designated as said hole. For whatever reason. Don't know why. I don't think I did anything wrong.
That hole is your home. Don't you want to go home?
Yeah. My main concern is that, like, if I put too much pressure or force, I'm going to break the dang thing. Because this piece is not exactly the most, stable and strong connection. My other thing I can think of. Just try. Hmm. Yeah, like unless there was another part that it's supposed to connect to. But it seems to be like a very specific.
Jake suggesting maybe it's a loose fit for articulation purposes.
Does that look like a loose fit to you? It's not. I'm saying it's not connecting at all. Like I've tried to
Mm,
press the part in, like the instructions are telling me to. I'm applying a good amount of pressure to it, and this is the midsection, so it has to be stable. Otherwise, bad things would happen, and the whole thing will fall apart. It yeah, it don't want to stay put. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to move on for now because I am now frustrated. I don't want to keep fighting the thing. Gotta give my
no,
fingers.
fair enough.
I think I'm gonna give my fingers a rest for a couple minutes and then just try and maybe build the other parts and work from there.
Yeah.
This is the Master Grade Tall Geese 3. Yeah, it's a P Bandai exclusive kit. I spent like over $60 for that. So I'm trying to really be very careful and not break it.
Understandable.
Kind of just investigating here a bit, trying to figure out what could be causing the problem, or the reason why the ball joint doesn't want to go in the socket. So I was on MG grade fat. You just go, oof. I mean, yeah, that's a good chunk of change. I typically don't buy a whole lot of master grades, so this one was special
I understand that.
because this is my favorite mobile suit from Endless Waltz. Do not think.
Yeah. We were always a death side household here.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I like Death Scythe too. I mean, I was like originally I was very much the heavy arms guy, so
Okay.
really liked heavy arms, and the custom one I really liked because I like colors more.
Hmm.
Like I think that like the green like camo look really fits it better than red and yellowish orange.
Yeah.
I have a filer. Not on me right now. Most of my tools are somewhere else. They're either in
The
boxes
fun of
or
moving.
they're in storage at the moment. We don't have any Sandrock people here. Hey, what's wrong with Katra? Be nice to Katra. He's a good boy. He has done nothing wrong except for piloting the Wing Zero one time. That's it. That's the only wrong thing he's ever done in his life. You be nice to him. Because at least out of all the other characters, I can safely say at least he had a personality. Him and Wu Fei. At least they had personalities. And Duo. Forgot Duo. Like half the cast has like a couple of the characters are I feel way too similar. Like as
No,
much
no, no,
as
no, no. I get you. I get you.
as
It's
much
part of the
as
reason I never really related to Hero, to be honest.
yeah, like no. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I like both Hero and Troll, but basically their personalities are exactly the same, pretty much.
Yes.
So
Just one slightly darker than the other, but other
yes.
than that, yes.
Yeah, that's like nah, they're the only
Troa just doesn't care and, stares blankly ahead while doing whatever. Hero's like, no, 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 I am going to kill you. And,
and That's it. That's pretty much his personality. I'm just gonna kill you. But like, what is it?
And Twitch, if you're listening, no, we're not going to kill him.
Yeah, we're not gonna kill nobody. Yeah, the only yeah, like I still like Gundam Wing, but I do think that in some cases the certain like the older fans have been like what's a nice way of saying it? Glazing it a little too hard. Like, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, it's a good show. Is it the best Gundam show I've ever seen? No.
it's a good introduction, but yes.
It was a good introduction, and it's like a good quality show overall, but like it's definitely dropped in the rankings of my favorites over the years.
That's absolutely fair.
Because, like, I personally, in my opinion, Gundam 00 is better. Fight me. Gundam 00 is way better. Gundam X's peak. I actually was watching Gundam X probably about half a year ago. I started watching. It was pretty good. I actually like Gundam X. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't finish it, but what I did watch, I enjoyed.
Oh, and G Gundam is another great one as well. I mean, the
Yes.
premise is absolutely silly, yes, but you know what? By the time it just sheds all sense of reality at the end, it's like, you know what? This it's 4 episodes left. It's such an awesome ride so far. Let's just see where it takes us.
Yeah. And I mean, for some people who I know, who I'm friends with, they're like, that's their favorite. G Gundam is their absolute favorite, or definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't knock them for it. Like, I like Gundam. I like G Gundam. It's been a long time since I watched it, but like what I did watch, I enjoyed a lot. So you
Yep.
don't have to apologize for liking Age. I mean, Age is fine. Its main mistake was like one hiring a studio that had only made video game related cutscenes, anime cutscenes, and a director that had too much ambition for the project. He was like, I'm going to do a multi generational story, and I've got, let me check notes, not enough episodes to fully develop all the characters and work on that. Oops! So I think
I mean,
it's,
fair.
I think, like, from what I've heard, because I only watched through the first generation and then part of two, so I didn't get to see all of it. But that's the main thing. It's like they're trying to cram too much into.
I'm assuming you mean part of the second.
Hmm?
Oh, your audio cut out right after you said part of, after saying you'd seen the first generation.
Yeah, I saw part of one and two. First generation,
Okay,
I
okay.
watched all the way through, and then second. The lag, I got a lag spike. That's fine. I got a lot of
It
stuff
happens.
open right now, so that's probably why. But yeah, no,
It happens.
I think Age is serviceable. I definitely like the suits, but that's not that big of a surprise considering that they were designed by the same guy who did Gundam 00. So, and I like those suit designs for the most part too. So, especially the Gundams in particular. He has really interesting designs for like the enemy suits. That's for sure. Because like I think from Gundam 00 and Age, they are the most unique designs I've ever seen, and like enemy antagonist mobile suits look like. I think Gundam 00's is like some are like closely related to like some of Wings grunt suits like the Ares.
Hmm.
Like the flags and the Hellions are literally just they're just an Ares. The only difference is that they can they fully transform, unlike the Ares. The Ares is just a mobile suit with big wings on its back. Um, but yeah, I think Age is okay from what I did see. It's definitely not the best, but like I appreciate what it is. But like I said, the thing is that people like there are certain subsets of the Gundam community that give a lot of shit to Gundam Seed for its shortcomings and its decisions that were probably not popular among some of the fans. And then
Mm-hmm.
they completely disregard that Gundam Wing has similar issues as well. But it's like, oh no, we can't do that. Gundam Wing is amazing. Gundam Wing is the best Gundam show ever. We can't say no to our favorite. We can't say it sucks. Or,
Well, I
or,
mean,
or, or at the very least has major flaws in it that both shows share at the very least.
well, and part of that I think is that I mean, a lot of the seed generation, especially the American seed generation, got their start with Gundam Wing. And so it was their first opportunity, if you will, to be a senior member of the community,
Yeah.
looking down upon what came after them as inferior.
Yep, pretty much. That's how I typically view it. Yeah. It's not like I've seen some of the discussions and topics. I was at one point working on a video where I was going to respond to one guy's in particular a video discussing Gundam Seed and why it sucked because I felt like his choice to point out the original Gundam and look at Amuro as a protagonist and as a character, and then comparing both him and Kira together is it's a choice. It's not a good choice because like a lot of argumentations for Amuro's character, you can basically make the same or like arguments you can make for Kira's character, you can make with Amuro as well. Because like the only thing I think that keeps them apart as characters for the most part is Amuro's antisocial as hell and doesn't like people very early on. So like the reason why he gets slapped around and has to deal with other things is because he's an asshole. Let's just be honest. He's kind of a dick. Why do you think Bright slapped him? It isn't because, he was sensible at the time. He got slapped because he was being a piece of shit.
No, again, it was kind of the original, getting the damn robot.
Yeah, he's like, you're not cooperating. Bright runs the better orphanage. I mean, he runs a more abusive orphanage, I guess. But people are all like, oh, but Kira, like, he gets away with so much stuff. They don't court martial him. They don't punish him as much. I'm like, yeah, because the crew actually likes him. They don't hate him because he's more adjusted. He's more sociable. He's a kind boy. He's nice. He's polite.
He's not abandoning everybody when they're about to get killed.
Exactly. He stayed on the Archangel, despite the fact that there's a subset of the people on the crew who are racist towards him and don't want him there. There's a woman there that, he eventually gets with that says that she hates him and wants him to die. And he stays on board.
And that's the nicest thing I've ever heard anybody say about Flay.
I could say worse.
Like I said, that's the nicest thing I've ever heard anybody say about her.
Yes, pretty much. Don't like Flay. I hate her. Because that's the other thing, like, the one person who was doing his video talking about it, he doing a fair bit of objectification of Flay. And it's like, oh, heaven forbid Kira get laid. I'm like,
I mean, yes, it was sort of big news when it happened, I will say, but
I mean, like, okay, yeah. Like, trying to do the whole thing of like, oh, woe is me, he got laid. I'm like, got freaking manipulated into getting laid. What do you mean?
That too, yes.
He was, one, not in the right headspace, and two, the woman was manipulative as shit. She was a horrible human being. At least at that point. And when she died, I clapped. Because I didn't care about her. I I know they tried to
Mm-hmm.
redeem her, but at the end, I'm like, oh, she's dead. Okay. Um. Okay, moving on. Next scene. I did not care nearly enough
Yep.
about her redemption because it's like it was so goddamn last minute at that point. It's like if you would have brought her back sooner and had
Well, it's
her,
like,
actually do a proper apology or something, then maybe I would feel bad for her.
there's one character in V Gundam that gets a notoriously bad fate. Let's just say. Um, Describing in detail the condition she is left in would require, probably warning the chat. Um, but let's just say that Helen Keller had a better life than this lady. Yeah. um,
But yeah, like
yeah.
I was like, why are we like saying like, oh look at it, it's a Gundam protagonist and he's getting some action that isn't involving a mobile suit. I mean, yeah, I guess. What am I say it like that? He is, but like, I mean, Char got action too. It's like, am I supposed to be impressed by this? It's like, he's Kira got the raw deal here. He was not treated very well, and he was still kind to everyone despite how he was mistreated. And he stayed on that ship because his friends were on board. And when he didn't have to be there, well, basically because they thought he died. So
Yeah.
so he didn't have to be there anymore. Oh.
Yep.
So yeah, no, like I like I like Amuro as a character. And I like parts of Kira as a character. Like I can understand the reason why like yeah, no, we shouldn't hate Kira. Like he's like, "Oh, but he has plot armor. Name one Gundam protagonist that doesn't." Oh.
I mean, yes, in the end, it's a TV series, and I don't want to end the TV series on episode 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, like, some
Yeah.
people have issues with like some of the scenes of like the nonsensical ways that he survives scenarios that he should have potentially died in. And in some
Mm-hmm.
cases, like, yeah, I agree with them. They are pretty damn stupid and nonsensical and probably shouldn't have happened the way that Sunrise and whatnot designed it to be because it makes them look incompetent. Because it's like, okay, this dude just survived a explosion while being trapped inside of a literal roasting oven, and that explosion is at point blank range. Like he's dead. I'm sorry, he's dead, Jim.
Sometimes that just becomes part of the joke, though, as well. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the 2009 Beowulf movie, the CG one.
Uh, why did you have to remind me of that accursed thing?
Oh, I actually enjoyed that film. But
The
I know a lot of people hated it, but the
especially
point
the
is,
last part.
but
Okay.
the reason I bring that one up is, one of the things that people used to really criticize that one hard for was during the Grendel fight, where Beowulf is famously naked for the entire fight. Here, they basically pulled every single comical trip in the book to not show any junk on screen.
Don't remember that part.
Yeah,
I
yeah. Basically, it kind of, for many people, broke the immersion altogether because instead of watching the fight, they were watching to see how they were going to cover things up next.
I mean, that's pretty damn funny though. I would have to rewatch it. It has been ages since I saw that movie. I didn't like it. Mostly, I just didn't like it. But like, it's like, oh, I was a Beowulf fan. I read the Beowulf story when I was in high school, and
Same.
I was kind of a fan, and I'm like, oh, I want to see I want to see an adaptation. Sure, that sounds great. And I watch it, and I'm like, okay, for the most part, like maybe not the most faithful adaptation, but I like it well enough.
An
And
attempt was made.
an attempt was made, and I'll give him credit for trying. And then the final part happens. I'm like, nope, 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 no, no. Why is he doing this? This is wrong on so many levels. Why? Why
No,
was this?
admittedly, I forget about that part off the top of my head. But if you don't want to recover it right now, that's absolutely fine too.
He has sex with, or
Ah, okay,
he has sex with the mother of all monsters, and I'm like, which the thing that
gotcha.
the creature that he kills in the story before his final fight, which was with the dragon thing, that was like her last thing, and they changed the
Right.
story for him to be like the dragon is now his offspring, I guess, or something. I can't. Vague recollection of it. Obviously, I've memory hold part of that movie.
No, I get
Obviously,
it.
for good reason. Uh,
I get
but but
it.
but yeah, like that was part. Like it's like, oh, why do that? I mean, maybe one day I either will revisit that movie just for shits and giggles, or I will watch a video talking about the production and explaining why the hell the director made that call. Because I'm just now morbidly curious as to why. And now that I've been,
Indeed.
this is like probably the second time someone has reminded me of this movie in recent memory, like in the last like probably weeks or a month or so, and I'm like, dang it! Now I feel like have to watch a video explaining this movie and find out why the director felt the need to do this, just out of my own morbid curiosity. Oh boy! Although I think there was another adaptation of Beowulf, or well, it wasn't called Beowulf, but
Right.
I think it was what like the Antonio Banderas called
Okay.
13 Warriors, I think. Maybe that was an adaptation of something else. I don't fully recall. Remember something about that.
Yeah, I don't remember that one off the top of my head, but
I'm gonna
it's gonna bug you until you look it up now.
13. Oh wait, no.
I seem to recall like a 13 Ninjas or something like that, maybe. But I could be wrong too on that.
IMDb thing. For some reason, I felt like there was another. Oh yeah, it was made. It was made by. I don't remember. I thought it. Maybe I misremember.
I get that. It happens to all of us.
Yep, I probably just misremembered it and thought it had some relation to it. Maybe I misheard it. Who knows?
Yeah, another one that's been on my list of things I've been meaning to watch for years has been the 47 Ronin adaptation with Keanu Reeves.
I don't recall that one.
Yeah, it kind of was in and out of theaters. People really kind of hated it because it was not particularly faithful to the source material, apparently, but was a bit of a spectacle visually. Not quite Avatar level bad, where people are like, "Yeah, the story sucks, but look at it."
It sucks. Look at how much fun we're having.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's a lot of movies that like I was watching or that I didn't watch, or films that I was like, oh yeah, this will be an interesting thing. Maybe I'll recently like sometimes I'll go to like a store or something, or well, not a store, but like antique malls, secondhand shops,
sure.
and I'll go and like buy or I'll find DVDs and stuff.
Hmm.
And the place, the pawn shop, and like each DVD is $1.50. And sometimes I have found a gem of some kind over there, and I'm like, oh,
Oh, okay.
and one of the ones that there were a couple of ones I found. One of them was one of the Robin Hood movies I remembered from my childhood or like young teen years, which is the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie.
Yes, Prince of Thieves.
Yes, I think so. Robin Hood, Prince of
Yes,
Thieves.
the one that served as the basis for Men in Tights later on.
Yeah, and it had Morgan Freeman and really good cast. I really like that movie. I was very nostalgic. Is it close to? Is it a really good adaptation of Robin Hood? No, but
That's the thing. Yes, is it was
they took a
noted
lot
for
of
being a fun
liberties.
film.
Yeah, fun action adventure film. Really enjoy it. And and while I was perusing like the sections and whatnot, I was or it's like one big shelf with all these DVDs and Blu-rays on it, and I'm looking around and I'm like picking out some movies, and I found that one,
Hmm.
and then another one that I found was one that I didn't even know existed, and I'm a fan of westerns, so
Okay.
I felt obligated to pick this, or like the name of it caught my eye. It was called The Frisco Kid, and I'm like, what in the heck is The Frisco Kid? That sounds like a western. Let me pull that out and look at the cover and see it because I never heard of it before, and it looked kind of old, or like an older
Hmm.
style font. And I look at it, I'm like, Harrison Ford and Mel Brooks. Or well, no, not
Oh,
Mel. Oh, sorry, not Mel Brooks. What was that actor that he always brought that Mel Brooks had?
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. Yes, it's Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford in a western, and I'm like, what in the hell
Yeah,
is this?
that was Blazing Saddles. It sounds like.
No, it's not Blazing Saddles. I said Harrison Ford.
Oh, right. You're
Han
good point. Good point. It was a
Solo.
few years before him.
Han Solo. Indiana
Right.
Jones. And I was like, what is this movie? And so I bought it. And then I think it was like maybe a day or so later, I choose to watch it because I'm like, I'm just morbidly curious. Like, I paid only $1.50 for this. I'm like, if nothing else, I'm going to get my money's worth. And the premise was so funny and ridiculous because I think I read the premise before I bought it, but I was like, I'm buying this regardless because, like, I love Gene Wilder and I love Harrison Ford, so why the heck not?
Oh,
Never seen
absolutely.
those two in a movie together before. That
Yeah.
sounds like a
It's like, how can you go wrong
interesting
with
choice.
this?
Well, maybe not. I don't know if you could go right or wrong with it, but it's like interesting combination. I have to. My curiosity is piqued. So I watch it, and the premise is that Gene Wilder's character is a Jewish man who is leaving Poland to go to America because he's becoming the rabbi of um a Jewish community in the like San Francisco. So he
Okay.
has to go from the East Coast to the West Coast. And
I'm
antics
on
and
the East
shen-
Bank. I'm on the West Bank.
and clearly antics ensue. Like he gets robbed very early on because he's does not a native and like doesn't understand what's going on,
Hmm.
and then basically he gets robbed. He's like trying to find his way to. He has to hoof it to head to San Francisco, and eventually runs into Harrison Ford, who's a bank robber, and they strike up a friendship for a while, and it's a back and forth thing. It's comically funny and heartwarming, oddly at the same time. And I'm like, this was a excellent use of my $1.50. I'm glad I found it. I still have it too. Uh, so if anybody has ever wondered what that wonder or are curious, yeah, go look up the Frisco Kid. That's a funny little movie. I don't remember I don't know when it was made. Think like 60s or 70s, maybe. Hold on, let me go. I know where it is exactly right now, so I want to go find it. Okay, so yeah, Wilder, Harrison Ford, right here. The Wild West Adventures of a Strictly Kosher Cowboy. Yeah, 1979 actually.
Oh, okay. So right after Star Wars and before
Yep,
the Empire.
yep. A very young Harrison Ford.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a fun little find.
Need to tell him he needs to remake this film too and reprise that role before he fully retires.
Well, I mean, it'd be kind of hard to do without Gene Wilder there present, unfortunately.
I mean, if they could CGI Leia for a movie, they could. But no, I get you.
Don't do that. I like Gene Wilder too much for that. Please don't.
Yes, that's two of us. As I recall, that was rather nightmarish when they did it.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Now, I remember at one point here, my then girlfriend had been on a spree downloading some things she thought might be interesting, and we watched Battle Royale 1, which, if you're familiar with Battle Royale, is an excellent adaptation of the original series there. Then we decided to continue to the sequel film, Battle Royale 2. That one left me wanting a refund on my pirated movie.
Oh no.
Yeah. Now, basically, like I said, while Battle Royale 1 did an effective job of recreating the environment, the tension, and the overall thrust of the plot, Battle Royale 2 took the survivors of the first one and said, okay, they've set up a fortress here, and, basically, they've declared that they will never trust adults ever again, completely naively ignoring that, they will one day be adults. And so they basically said the next Battle Royale is assaulting this fortress.
Interesting.
Yep.
It is always kind of fun to think about like obscure and odd movies sometimes. It's always fun
Yeah.
stuff. Him and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, I loved him in Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, and there's a lot of movies that with Gene Wilder in it.
Yeah. And
he was a big name back then,
Well, and also, Wilder's film was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the Johnny Depp version.
All right. Sorry, I never.
No.
I probably mix the two up all the time.
No, it's one of those things that Tim Burton was making a big deal about when he was making the film. It's like, well, they changed the film and all that. And they changed the story by renaming it and all that. And it's like, which is kind of ironic because, the Gene Wilder version, well, Gene Wilder certainly has a way of stealing the show at times there. It was still Charlie's story fundamentally in the way that they told it. Whereas the Johnny Depp version was absolutely start to finish. Here's Willy Wonka's horror show, but for authenticity's sake, we're going to call it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory instead.
I don't really remember very much that one. I think I remember watching. I remember watching it.
Yeah, I saw it once in theaters, and I mean, if someone wanted to watch it again, I wouldn't say no, but it's nothing I'm ever going to reach for, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and use the back. I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah. So we're getting pretty close to done on these. Really, what I need to do is take the bases back out and spray paint them black here real quick, and then yeah, these two are in space, so there's not much more beyond that we really need to do. Um, this guy is the land-based Leo, so probably add some vegetation and things to make him more interesting. At some point, I'm probably going to want to put sealant on this guy because see where some things like the black kind of anytime you pick this up and handle it, it kind of wears off on the edges of, which can be a desirable effect at times, but it can also be extremely frustrating when you're working with the model. Another thing too is if we wanted to have any of the thrusters actually, maybe putting in blue or something like that, to select that, or if we really wanted to go over the top there, you could set up create some flame inserts to put in there. Oh. Welcome back.
Alrighty, I'm back. What I miss?
Hi, back. We're chat. Um, uh, yeah, not too terribly much here. My guys are mostly done, aside from probably taking the bases back out and respraying them black. Um, yeah.
The 2000.
Oh, yeah, the Doctor Doolittle type one they did.
Yeah, I think it was like.
Kind of the origin story.
Yeah, I think I saw it like not that long ago. I didn't watch it, but it was mom had it on a TV channel, and all of a sudden it started playing that, and he's like, "Why is that on TV?" I'm like, "I don't know. Why is it on this TV channel in particular? No clue, but it's here.
Yep.
Whatever reason, it's on right now."
Yeah.
Seemed like a interesting.
Yeah. Thinking back on some of our earlier discussions here, actually, we were talking about, Wing versus Seed and all that. There is one distinct bit I have noticed over the years with Gundam here. Um, and change in tone, a little bit of change in philosophy, if you will, maybe even over the lifespan of the franchise. Um, as we all know, Tomino originally created Gundam as the ultimate anti-war piece, if you will. Trying to show the horrors of war in a way that really hadn't quite been depicted. So,
Yeah.
frankly, up until that point, except for maybe in limited things that he also had a hand in before, like Sambot 3, Idion, and so forth. Um, and an interesting thing to keep in mind about that is that Tomino was born in like 1936, so Tomino and his generation, that the ones that worked on the first decade or so Gundam series, actually knew what war was like on some level. Certainly at the very least from a civilian perspective. Um, Experiencing World War II from the Japanese mainland with fire bombings and other things. And a lot of that really comes through when you look at things like, for example, in the original Gundam series, when Amura's mom appears, you know, or a lot of the other casual civilian interactions that you see along the way. Um, the
Yeah.
irony, of course, has always been that, um, of course, how do you depict war without making the machines of war, especially when it's the centerpiece of your storytelling here, look amazingly awesome. You know, which I
Yeah.
think in that regard, Gundam 80, I think, really kind of strikes the best balance of Tomino's ideals there.
Which one?
It
Sorry, I was.
80,
Oh, double. Yeah, War in the Pocket.
yes, yeah. I mean, it depicts very real consequences on all sides of things. Shows the silliness of, you know what, the war is over, but duty continues, and so Bernie goes into a fight he doesn't have to at the end.
Right.
And a clueless Christina at the end tells Al to say hi to Bernie when he sees him. Um, you know, um, I mean, yes, the mecha is there, but it's very much secondary to. It really is part of the plot. It's more focused on the characters overall,
Yeah,
except for a
it's a
couple of
compliment to the.
right. But when you move into later series like Wing, it goes from the very grounded realism of the impacts of war that you see in the first decade of Gundam, and into more of like an endless waltz. One of my favorite things to obscure by that slightly is that when they're all shooting up the serpents at the end there, and it's like, hey, look at how many mobile suits we're destroying here. And even better, we're not aiming for the cockpit, so we're not killing any of the pilots, so nobody's dying. And it's like, really? Really, Catra?
Yeah.
I
It's kind
mean,
of
it
like the
just kind
set.
of.
It's definitely been a more common thing for a lot of Gundam shows to do that. Like, I mean, I kind of get what they're going for. They want to like some of these characters, like they're not pacifists, or they weren't originally, but now it's all like they realize war is wrong, and they want to do what's right and kill anymore, and that's cool. It's a novel
Right.
concept, but at the same time, I'm all like, it's very unrealistic. Like, I
Yep.
think, like, what was it? Tomino, I think, did kind of, I guess, like, somewhat have a mild answer to the way that Gundam had been portrayed for those years. With I never watched Turn A, but I heard the whole thing about uh the main protagonist for Turn A's name. What's it?
Lauren Seahack.
Loran, yeah. Sorry, I know him as Loran.
Yeah,
and
again, it's Lacus Lacus.
and how he's,
Lacus.
and how he's like a pacifist, but he's also not an idiot. He is willing to kill when he needs
Yes.
to, kind of thing.
And I hear that Turn A actually is really good if you just give it a bit of patience. I've never been able to get through the first 2 episodes. But if you can make it through the intro, apparently it's really good.
Oh. Well, I've heard good things about it. I have no reason to doubt most of Gundam related social media.
Yep.
For the most part, all of them seem to know what they're talking about, and
Yeah.
for the most part, and they have a good head on their shoulders most of the time. So yeah, they say it's a good show. The only reason why I never watched it is one, it didn't never got an official release, and
Mm-hmm.
that stuff was going on. Number one, then number two, obviously, shoot, um, was the I lost my train of thought. Oh joy! What fun I'm having! Completely spacing and forgetting what I was going to say. Uh,
I've been there.
but yeah, I think that Tomino maybe did have a bit of a. I don't know if it was like an intentional response, but like a lot of people at the time were saying that like despite you know how a lot of these Gundam shows had been for many years, you know, showing the Gundam fighters becoming pacifists or to kill, and then
Mm-hmm.
like because Gundam Seed did that too. Like Kira's this pacifist for a good chunk and majority of the story. This whole thing, like, I don't want to kill anybody anymore. Despite the fact that you were killing people before and you seem just fine doing it. And then,
Yep.
and I think the funnier part of that is just the whole thing of like, oh, look, he's beam spamming and shooting everything. And it's like, I'm not killing a single person. I'm like, sure you are, champ.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't buy it.
Tell yourself that.
Keep telling yourself that. Keep telling your if it helps you to sleep at night, buddy. But
Yep.
like, I think that's probably why I ended up gravitating towards Gundam 00 because they did not shy away from the reality that these guys are that these guys are killers. They're soldiers.
Right. Yeah.
They're willing.
Same thing with Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
I mean, Thunderbolt, if anything, absolutely embraced it.
Yeah, they embraced pretty much everything. It's like,
yeah.
horrors of war, amputation, all the classics, It's like they embraced it all in no uncertain matter. They're just like, oh no, we're gonna show you everything. We'll show you how the sausage is made, and you'll probably be sick to your stomach after that fact. At least the
but kind of continuing the thought there, it's one of those things where you do see a bit of an evolution running up towards Seed, where it's a bit more style over substance, really, where the original war narrative is concerned. And then you get some things like Build Fighters where they throw the war narrative out altogether, it seems. So it's like, you know what? We're just going to embrace the merchandising side of it for the moment.
I mean, it worked.
I'm not being critical of it here in that case. It's just, when you look at the way that the narrative has evolved over the course of the franchise, it's just definitely a fascinating twist, especially with Tomino's historic frustration with that side of it.
yeah, definitely. It's definitely different. It's definitely interesting to see how the franchise has adapted or changed over time. It's not probably what Tomino originally envisioned, that's for sure. It's not a different beast entirely.
Yeah, and even the peak Tomino years weren't necessarily immune to this either, of course, I will grant, because you know what? You had the original, you had the movies, which kind of turned it up even more a bit. You had Zeta, which took it as dark as they could at the time. Then you have Double Zeta, which is like, you know what? We need to introduce children to this franchise.
Let's
um,
can we tone down the murder and bloodlust for like probably by 5 decibels for a little while at least.
for about the
We're
first
trying to
half of the
sell
series, yeah.
toys. We're trying to sell toys here.
Yes.
Because it's how we keep the lights on.
Yep. And then you get back to, Char's counterattack, which is a very fitting end to that arc, I will say.
And of course, victory was also a thing, and
oh yes, victory took it still darker.
it just Tomino was like, hold my own beer, please. I gotta cook even harder, and
Yep.
make it even worse. Like, and with a protagonist that's even younger than most of them have ever been. It's like,
yeah, because Uso was 10, I think.
He's 12.
Okay.
Canonically, he's 12. He's about 12.
Sometimes too, when a series spans, like 2-4 years in universe, like what age is the character?
Truly a mystery. Who knows?
Yep.
But yeah, no, I understand. Like the franchise has changed, and it's Jesus. Oh. But yeah, the franchise is like in and I think that there are at least some fans right now that like, are not the biggest fans of certain choices that have been made.
Mm-hmm.
The last two like mainline Gundam shows, there were subsets of the fans that were, I guess you could say, not pleased for whatever reasons. Some of them for arbitrarily stupid reasons. That I well like, oh, so you just want to be bigoted? I see. Uh, like, guys, you understand that like Witch from Mercury is basically the perfect encapsulation of that, because there was a subset of people complaining about, having girl love in a Gundam show. I'm all like, and this isn't like that there hasn't been subtle subtext of that kind of stuff going on in Gundam for a very long time. Have you seen the boys?
I mean, that's kind of what defined the Gundam Wing fandom in that regard.
Exactly. And Double O. Maybe, and well, actually, the funny thing is that Tomino himself mentioned that the Gundam franchise wouldn't be where it's at without the female fan base to begin with. And we know that there are subsets of the fan base in the community that, do ship Char and Amuro pretty hard. And they're like, look at the subtle subtext of, them being very close to each other. Let's just roll with it, I'm pretty sure you can find many, many dojins of those two enemies to lovers type thing going on. I'm sure.
Oh yes, there absolutely are.
So
there absolutely are.
So it's like, who the heck cares if Suleta and Mirne are a couple? I don't care. It's not that important or that deep. All that really matters is like, is the story overall going to be good? Is their relationship going to work? And in my personal opinion, it works pretty darn well, all things considered. You know, some people are like, well, Mirane's a bitch, and she's mean, and she hurts people's feelings, and she's not nice. I'm like, yeah, because her father is a possessive asshat who is forcing his daughter into marriage by basically whoever has the best mobile suit at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And all she wants to do is go home or go to Earth, where her mother is from. That's all she wants. Like, gee, I wonder why she has a chip on her shoulder and why she is so hostile. No idea why that would come up at all. And I was like, that's one of the weakest arguments. Like, yeah, she's an asshole at first, and she's not nice. She was raised by a corporate business asshole. What were you expecting? Were you expecting her to be kind and polite? I mean, she's professional, but also an asshole. So I'm like, I don't know what you guys are wanting. I found that particular argument kind of ridiculous. I'm like, did we watch the same show? Because I understand the reason why she's like this, and why she's also tough on Soletta. There's a part where she like abandoned Soletta. And it's like she kind of had to because she was trying to protect her from
Mm.
her own mother because her own mother is evil, kind of thing. So it's like she's like,
Okay.
I won't let you hurt Soletta anymore because Soletta's never understood that her ability to pilot the mobile suit, pilot the Gundam is because her mother is was like cloning her own daughter multiple times, and every single time when they cloned her, they were used to in the that whole thing in some of the Gundam shows where there's like the ghost in the machine type thing,
Right.
like Blue Destiny and whatnot. Basically, think that, but on a grand scale of multiple people have died trying to pilot this.
Okay, so that kind of sounds like, Evangelion right there.
Kind of, probably a little
Yeah, with
bit.
all the Ray clones and
Yeah, it's kind of and and Soletta's been blissfully unaware of any of this happening because she just blindly trusted her mother. And the reason why
yeah.
Mune was rude to her, at least for that part, is because it was the only way to protect her at the time. It was the only way she
No.
could think of. Was it a good call? No, because the mother, released the aerial into public and started warfare bullshit. So no, it wasn't a good call. Because
Another amusing bit on that actually is Jegs got me into G Eternal recently here on my iPad. And my Witch from Mercury squad is basically, three Celeste. It's like, oh, actually, that suddenly makes some sense.
now it all adds up why there's so many of her. Because she had sisters, technically, quote unquote, that let's say they're her, but also not her. Uh,
So his girlfriend, the black girl with the pink hair, or
no,
the big puffy hair?
Soletta's the main character. She's the redhead with
Right, I know her. I'm talking about the girlfriend.
the girlfriend's the girl with the white hair,
Oh, okay.
with the long white hair, and wears like a
Okay.
green uniform.
Gotcha.
The girl with the pink hair, it was one of the side characters. I don't
Okay.
remember her name. I mean, she did leave a lasting impression by punching somebody. So it's a good way to get people to notice you, despite the fact that like your mobile suit is probably one of the most uninteresting looking ones. It's the demi trainer, just a weird little guy who does not look that impressive. But work with what you got. But yeah,
Yep.
no. Overall, I thought that series was pretty good. It's not perfect by any stretch, but like out of compared to the last Gundam show that I had watched at that time, or at least that was like a alternate timeline that wasn't Build Fighter related. The last one prior to that was IBO, which IBO is pretty darn good until season 2. Don't like season 2 very.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. I know, like some people have said, like they're doing the whole like idiot plot thing where like the characters are intentionally being stupid,
Right.
to like
Kind of like most Death Note adaptions.
yeah, kind of like that. But I genuinely think was the dumbest choice they could have made with the cast because like by the end of it, do you feel good? Are you happy? Or do you feel satisfied? I certainly didn't. Okay, the one thing like we were talking about like some of Tomino's work and stuff, and like when death happened in the original Gundam, a good chunk of the time it was not telegraphed. There's sometimes when it is, where it's like, oh, this character's dead.
Sure.
The whole
Yeah,
warning
Slager's
flag of
death
like
comes to mind.
the death flag of like, oh, we'll talk about you. We'll talk about it when I get back, and then character doesn't come back
Yes.
to talk about it. The problem is is that IBO's second season, they do it all the time. They're like, oh, we'll talk about it later. Character's dead. Oh, I guess we're not going to talk about that. And they kept on, they did it for a good chunk for at least a couple of the characters. And then,
Mm-hmm.
like, we're nearing the tail end, and, like, one, no one's arguing with Orga. No one's telling him to go shove himself off his own cliff, let him kill himself, because clearly that's the path he wants to take.
Right.
But, like, nobody argues with him. Mikazuki doesn't fight him on anything, doesn't, say, no, this is wrong. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this, which, by the way, kind of nukes any of his character development from the first season. So I end up being very disappointed by the end of season 2 because I feel like very little change. Like, some things did change, They did the whole thing of, like, oh, look, the Mars people now have more rights, and, like, there aren't any child soldiers, quote unquote. And then we see a terrorist attack from, like, one of the few remaining members of Tekken. And I'm like, so cycle continues. And this isn't a happy ending because the last, like, kid that was, quote unquote, a survivor is still doing the same shit that Tekken was already doing. So, or, like, being even worse and actually being a full blown terrorist. Like, so did we
Right.
really fix this problem, or did we solve it? Or the fact that characters, from Gallarhorn that should have been dead survived. What was that one? There was that one guy. He was really freaking annoying that everybody hated. Um, well, he's a dark skinned guy. I don't remember his name, but, like, he kept on surviving despite the fact that he shouldn't have. And it's not in the charming way like Patrick Colasar from Gundam 00, where, it's like, oh, he survived near death experience again. It's like, oh, well, at least it's Patrick. We like Patrick. We think he's funny. We think he's charming. This guy is just annoying, and everybody wanted to see him dead. So, it's been a while since I watched IBO, but I definitely had issues with its second season. Of course, I could say the same thing for Double O's second season because it's not as strong as its first season. But
Mm.
I would definitely rewatch Double O's second season again, opposed to wanting to watch IBO. But I feel like Witch from Mercury I felt was, like, solid enough. Like, obviously not perfect. It obviously had to take shortcuts because it only got 25 episodes, but I was satisfied by the end of it. I wasn't angry at it for anything that it particularly did. Some people might say it's like, oh, well, the mom got a redemption arc, didn't even get in a redemption arc. Yeah, because she's bedridden. What is she gonna do? What's the government gonna do? Arrest a crippled woman?
Right.
I mean, it's definitely not gonna be a good look. Not to mention that somebody else took the fall for the whole damn thing anyway. So one of the other or other side characters took the fall for it. He's like, nope, I'm responsible. I did it. It's like, yeah, she didn't technically get a redemption arc, but her whole plot for revenge entirely was kind of the Earth's government's fault in general.
Oh.
So, and though all those people who are building mobile suits and weapons and stuff, it's their fault. They're the ones who killed her family. So she's somewhat justified in, like, wanting to kill them. Did she go too far? Yes, but I kind of see why. But I mean, Char could justify. A lot of villains try and justify their behavior and actions, and typically they're not right.
Sure.
But you can kind of
By the
at least kind of understand.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for the follow, Captain.
Yeah, thanks for following Kaji Captain. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like G Witch. I thought it was a fun show.
Okay.
But and, like, most of the Gundam shows that I talk about, like, I don't entirely hate them, with very few exceptions. So I just have opinions about some of them. They're stronger than others.
Oh, I definitely understand that. Definitely understand that.
Yep. I've probably have plenty that I need to that I haven't watched that I still need to watch too. So I haven't fully watched like Double Zeta or um Victory. Those still shows
Yeah,
not watched.
I haven't done Victory yet. I have done Double Zeta. The second half is better than the first half.
That
Um,
is what I have heard.
yeah, no, it's amazing that Bright didn't execute some children here. We'll just put it that way. Um, and I'm not being facetious when I say that. There, he has just cause to do so if he wanted to.
I,
Um,
I remember what was it? Like the only my only connection to Double Zeta that I remember was I played the Dynasty Warrior Gundam games and
great games.
and Judo was like definitely like a main for some of those. And
Yep,
there was I think it was the second one where they did like story runs for a lot of the
right.
or at the very least for like the UC stuff, and I really Judo story, but it's clear that they're doing like more the second half of Double Zeta and not the first half.
Yeah, basically, the first half, to keep it spoiler light, shall we say? No serious spoilers of anything, but just kind of introducing the setting. Really is, you know, okay. You remember Yazan from Zeta? One of the most
Yeah.
terrifying pilots of that arc.
Yep, I remember
Um,
him.
he lands on Judo's home colony of Shangri-La, and basically the first 10 episodes is slapstick antics of the
Yeah.
most terrifying Titan pilot ever being reduced to being outsmarted by, the Scooby-Doo crew, essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
I watched at least like the first like probably like 5-10 episodes, so I do remember Yasan getting absolutely messed with, which was
yeah.
funny.
There's a reason why in the Zeta movies they explicitly, unambiguously kill him on screen, and that's exactly to prevent Zeta from ever occurring and theoretically semi-erasing it from the canon. Which would be fine, except that creates a plot hole of its own because now Haman is still around. Um, and that kind of makes things a little messy in um, Char's counterattack because Haman leads Neo Zeon.
Yeah.
And, with her obsession with Char, there's no way she'd just stand aside for Nanai, if she were still around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely not. She's like she won in Char, so no.
Yeah, exactly. So, unfortunately, getting rid of Double Zeta does leave that bit of a plot hole on its own, but,
I don't know why anybody would say Double Zeta wouldn't be canon. That's a little weird. I know some
Uh,
people, I guess, have made that argument, but I mean,
well,
I guess in a sense,
it,
like I watched those shows without the context of Double Zeta, but
yeah.
I guess I
The
was
thing
able to
is,
like put two and two together. Potentially, what happened? Because obviously Haman's not around.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, Double Zeta is, well, as you saw, you can skip from Zeta to Char's counterattack and it's okay. And the Zeta movies, they did remaking it, or parts of it anyway.
I have
A
heard
soft
horrible
decanonize
things.
it.
I heard
I mean,
not great things about the the movie versions of Zeta.
Zeta, the story wise, it's great. The problem is that they decided to half-ass the animation. And you would say, "Oh, well, look at the new animation, new footage in there. That's amazing." And yes, it is amazing. But when the new footage is about 10% of the footage they used, and sometimes you're seeing in the same shot, a frame of new footage interspersed with a bunch of the 1985, cell footage, and it's like, remaster the whole thing if you're going to do it,
Yeah,
or just make it, or just recut the old stuff. That's fine, but be consistent. Choose a style and stick with it.
yeah. I mean, from what I heard, they tried for the Zeta films. They tried to make it more of a happy ending and less depressing than the original.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
Honestly, I
because
was so
Camille,
distracted by the visual changes that I lost track of the story.
yeah, that's fair. Because like the whole thing is that like by the end of the original series for Zeta, Camille is a vegetable,
Yes.
so he's not able to do anything. That's the reason why Judo becomes the pilot of the Zeta in the first place. Because Camille's on board the Argama, and he's a vegetable, and he can't talk, do
Hmm.
anything. So they needed a new pilot. So, like, apparently with the films, they decide. I've never watched them, but from what I understand, they decided to not make him a vegetable by the end. I guess. At least that's what I've read.
Yeah.
Basically, like, no, let's give the kid a happier ending. I'm like, isn't the entire point of Zeta to be depressing?
I
Like,
mean,
we're
in
talking
some
about.
ways, yes.
I mean, for the most part, I thought I was supposed to be sad by the end of this, not hopeful, because uh kind of hard
Well, I
to
mean,
when about at least about 50% of the people who are in the show are dead.
let's face it, let's look at just episode 1 of Zeta here, okay?
Yeah.
We start off with, okay, you get into a fight with someone who calls you a girl because of your girly name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then you find out, oh, your dad's been cheating on your mom. Okay. And then you find out that, then your mom gets murdered right in front of your eyes. It's like, okay.
Within
And
only
that's
two
just the escalation
episodes.
in episode 1.
Yeah. Well, no, I think his mom died in like I think it was episode one. No, I think she died.
It may have been episode 2, perhaps.
It was like a couple episodes. I know she died a couple episodes in, and then his dad dies too. A couple episodes. I don't think it was the first. It was after he joined the Argama crew and stuff. So that's like a couple episodes in, and they were using her as a like I don't know if they were using her
Yeah.
as a bargaining chip
Give
or
us back the
whatever.
Mark II. Yeah, give us back the Mark II. Yes.
But Titan's doing Titan things. That much I remember.
Yes.
It was
Absolutely.
it was horrible shit. So like, oh, aren't you guys just wonderful at parties and charming?
Yep. It just kept escalating from there.
Yep, and it only got worse from there. More and more deaths, more and more sadness and depression.
Yep.
Watching characters that you had fallen in love with just drop like flies. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, yeah. Yeah. It's like I can remember a whole bunch of bits in there, and it's like, do I list it all off? Or it's like, yeah, on the one hand, I don't feel too bad about spoiling something that's literally 40 years old. On the other hand, yeah,
I mean,
trying not to be a dick about it
yeah,
either.
like the thing for me is that like I kind of have the same methodology as my other friend. It's like if it reaches a like the 20-year mark and you haven't played it or you haven't experienced or watched it, then you probably never were going to in the first place. So or like maybe
That's
you weren't
true.
going to get to it. And so it's a like eh, who cares? It's like I mean, I don't think that spoiling it will really do irreparable damage, I guess.
You're right.
That one piece that you had a hard time. I can't fix it. I don't know what to do. I'll figure it out. I couldn't fix it. And I got stuck on the headpiece too. Uh, trying to figure out that construction. It's kind of weird. Yep, I got hit with a lag spike again. Really need to, at some point, then get a new Wi Fi adapter. New Wi Fi antenna. Tried to buy cheap new ones and they did not work. YouTube? What do I need to do on YouTube? Huh? Uh, I could maybe look up if there's any problems It's Tall Geese up on YouTube.
Yeah.
What's Who knows when I will pick it back up again? Start fiddling with it.
Well, if you ever want to do another stream like this, always happy to have people on and chat and such. So
Yeah, we could probably do it, but I'll keep it in the back of my mind.
yeah,
Then that way, at least I'm making progress and I'm finishing things. That's the main thing.
indeed.
I think right now I'm in no real hurry because I don't really have anywhere to put this thing when it is built. So if I finish it, it's just gonna go sit in the box.
Back in the box.
For a
Yep.
good long while before I can officially take it out and display it somewhere. That is,
I get that.
if I can fix it or figure out what I'm doing wrong with it. Anyway.
Yeah. So, do you have any thoughts on where to rate out to?
That is a good question.
Yeah, so I'm skimming my list, and most of the likely candidates are ones I've done in the past 2 or 3 streams. So it's like, see if we can mix it up a little bit.
I have quite this thing.
Oh, I get that too. I think I follow some 600 or so people on Twitch.
I don't have an example.
That's a rough estimate on my side too.
Yeah. It's probably a good 100.
Okay.
Okay. She's Aussie. Then.
Ooh, nice.
So, actually, maybe move my keyboard over here and actually type properly. Whatnot, that would be a good idea. Possibly. Okay, I'll share the chat.
Okay.
If you want to raid my mutual friend Firo, she's a kaiju.
Okay, yeah.
Kaiju V.
All right, that sounds like a lot of fun.
She's playing. Uh,
Hi, Nekomaru. We're just getting ready to raid out, but thank you very much for stopping in. Kokurete arigato. Thank you, take it.
I didn't see it.
And just real quick before we start setting up the raid here, show off a couple of the pieces we painted tonight. Yeah, oh, Focus even came in there. Nice. So, これは今夜のモデルだった 今もうすぐレイドなんだけど、来てくれてありがとうございます。
Now my raid's been created.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get mine set up here. ガンダムウィング、あ、そうです、そうです。ガンダムウィングだった。これは、写真をディスコードに貼りますよ。終わるとすぐに写真を撮ります。Oh, wow, I just got raided by...
Oh no!
Okay. Hi, Cameras, welcome, welcome. This is wow. Hi everybody. I guess we are going to continue streaming for a bit. We were actually just getting ready to raid out. My name
Yeah.
is
I can't.
my name is Kaji Sensei. My name is Kaji Sensei. I am a takoyaki Japanese teacher and model painter. And been doing a collab with our friend Nightwolf here. Almost 5 a.m. so you gotta sleep. I get that. Thank you very much for coming. It's really great to see you, Kappa.
Thank you for raiding, Kaji. You can't, even though you
Yep.
can't hear us.
Yep. We've been doing model painting tonight here. We've been chatting about Gundam and painting some models from Gundam Wing here. So we've got these guys all done. More or less here. We just need to touch up the bases a little bit. I guess I'm going to go ahead and pick out a few more here to keep working on from this point. Mostly, I do a lot of Warhammer and things like that. Um, ah, um, so let's see here.
Trying to figure out what you're gonna do now.
Just a little bit, actually. Yes. It's kind of skimming what I have off to the side here. What I've got that's ready to pull over. Maybe do some finishing touches on. Or I do have some dwarves here that I do for a while. We can play around with them a little bit.
That's
Yeah. By the way, Knight, I know that we were just about to wrap up, so if you need to get going, I definitely understand that. You're welcome to stay on, though, if you like.
yeah. I was thinking I might. Well, how about instead get into you?
Okay.
You can hang out in Kaji's chat. I might stay a little bit. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Kaji and my chat will raid into Kaji. You guys can hang out with Kaji the rest of the evening if you.
Yep.
I'm completely. You guys have a. I'm just gonna raid now. Bye.
Sounds good.